Hi everyone, Jem here, thank you for watching. Today is the launch of the new collection from Made to Surprise called Never Ending Cards. So as you can see, it's quite a large collection. We've got 2 mechanism dies, 2 stamp and die sets, a sentiment set, 2 embossing folders and a paper pad. I'll go through those individually, and if you can't well, you can tell a little bit by some of the images, but I think that just gives it away. So it's a craft theme collection. Obviously you can use these mechanisms with any sort of Made to Surprise product or stamps and dies that you have in your set. So I think I'll talk you through those first. So we've got a 5x7 never ending card and stand die set and a circular never ending card and stamp die set. So I'll concentrate on the 5x7 one first of all. So obviously you've got your stand die, then your main plate to cut the mechanism, and then you've got all the mats and layers. These triangles, which I realised after doing all my samples, is if you cut away this part, so you've got this sort of rectangle, I guess. If you cut away here, then you've got your mats and layers to stick in this. You've got a different shape then using the same die set, and obviously you've got your mats and layers for the rest of the panels as well. Then we've got the circular never ending card and stand die set. So you've got this sort of rounded edge, and this plate then, or the card base, will measure 6x6. Stand again, your mats and layers. You've got one piece that'll fit this whole section, but then you can also divide it up into 2. So you can use those mats and layers along there, and then this half semicircle to fit in the other section. Then we've got the 2 stamp and die sets. So we've got Paper Crafting Fun and Sewing and More. So if I just concentrate on one and hold that up a little closer to the camera there. So all your lovely crafty images here. So you've got the mini die cutting machine, your scoreboard, your mat there, ink pad, double-sided tape, circle cutter, accent glaze, your glue, scissors, ruler, and so on. Got so many lovely images in there. Then in the Sewing and More stamp and die sets, you've got your sewing machine, your needle and thread, safety pin, your apron, buttons, scissors, your chalk, measuring tape. Then we've got these 2 5x7 embossing folders. You've got the Sewing and More and Paper Crafting Fun. So Sewing and More, you've got these lovely stitching details there, and really adds a nice texture to your card base. I've used this with mirror card, and it really shows up that pattern or design on the embossing folder. Then the Paper Crafting Fun, you've got the images again that are in the stamp set, all in here with some love hearts and some dots as well, just to fill in those sort of gaps, and I think is a really lovely design. I've used this and I've embossed the card, and I've rubbed some white ink just over the top so it highlights that image or the design a bit more, so you can see those both on my samples. Then we've got the Sewing, Paper Crafting and More A5 stamp set. So these accompany the stamp and die set and the embossing folder, the paper pad, etc. really well. And you've got some punny sentiments on here, which I absolutely love, as well as some really nice sentiments. So craft, eat, repeat, thanks so much, this room hugs me, enjoy for a little and then recycle me. This one you've seen on one of Sam's previous makes on a Facebook Live. Step away from the card, have a crafty birthday, handcrafted with love, love you so much. Just a few I've picked out there, and then you've got these sort of ink splotches as well to add to your cards. And last but not least, we've got the Crafty Patterns 8x8 paper pad, 4 each of 8 designs, 150 GSM. So what I like to do when I first have my sample, the collection, sorry about the rustling there. As I was saying, what I like to do when I first have the collection, I always take one pattern paper of each design out of the pack and set them aside so I can show you them. And this is absolutely gorgeous rainbow paper pack. I absolutely love the images on these, and they complement the stamps and dies and the embossing folder really well. So you've got this thread design in this lovely blue colour. Then got the buttons in the yellow. The same sort of design as your embossing folder there, so all the sort of stitching detail in the pink. You've got the sewing images in green. Hopefully you can see that okay. So again, continuing that design throughout the collection. Then we've got the crafty images in green. Again, following the embossing folder and the stamps. We've then got this sort of stitch detail in orange. The ink splatters in red. And then, how cute are these? These blending brushes in a rainbow colour. I think this pattern paper is so lovely, and it just complements so well with the rest of the pack there. So as you can see, some really lovely designs. So if I just spread those out a little bit more, you can see how gorgeous that is. So that's the full collection. I'm going to show you my samples now. So here are my 3 samples with the 5x7 mechanism. So we've got this sewing themed one with the orange, pink and yellows there. So you've got thanks so much. I've masked off the images and coloured those in. And I'll just show you how the mechanism works on this one. So you just move it around. It's so fun. So as you get to the next layer, you've got some space to write your message, and I've got thready set sew. And then you've got that pattern paper on the back there. We've got this craft theme one. As I said earlier, I used the embossing folder there and just rubbed over some white ink so you can see that design a little bit more. So you've got craft, eat, sleep, repeat. Again, all those lovely crafty images. I've left some space there to write your message, and the emboss panel just continues on the back there. Then this green one, I filmed a tutorial for this, so I do a little bit of masking and stamping there. Stamped off all sort of the ink splodges on the mats there. Got the ink blending brushes pattern paper, and this room hugs me. Then next one over, I've left space to write your message, and there are no mistakes, just lots of gemstones. And the pattern paper and the ink splodges continue then on the back. So that's the 3 using the 5x7. Then these are my 3 using the circular never-ending card mechanism. Haven't filmed any tutorials for these. I plan to film an additional tutorial using this mechanism die with a licensed product, but that hasn't been released yet, so that'll be on the channel in a few weeks time. And I'm also going to use the rotating stamp platform, and I'm going to make a craft theme sort of circular card and create a wreath using all those lovely crafty images. So I plan to do that in the next week or so, so keep an eye out on the channel for that. So let's go through these. So we've got 2 sewing and 1 craft theme one, just to balance out what I did with the other 3 samples. So we've got Craftaholic with no plans of recovery. And then you've got all the crafty images. Again, did some masking, coloured with my ink blend alcohol markers. Oh, it's a bit, well, it's not early, but it's around about 9:15, and I haven't had my coffee yet, so I think I'm struggling to get my teeth in today and get my words out properly. But bear with me. Apologies if I'm annoying you. So we've got the green pattern paper with those crafty images, made the card base in that lovely purple colour, and then you turn it over and again, and I've left this area then for you to write your message. So I'll just show you that again. One side, the opposite side, and it moves around like so. Such a fun design, and you can see with all the mechanism dies, they've both got a stand, so you can stand these to display them. Then we've got this sewing theme one, and use the lovely blue thread design there. Love you so much. And got some thread and pins and scissors and aprons there, or apron. Continued the pattern paper design again, and then left this space to write the message. And last but not least, I've used some mirror cards here, so you can see that gorgeous detail from the embossing folder, all those different sort of stitch designs, and the weekend forecast is sewing and chocolate. I think that's so fun. And then I've just stamped sort of the buttons and pins design there, and that sort of dotted line on the front. Kept that really simple, just wanted to show sort of a different way of using it rather than stamping and masking, so you can just use the embossing folders to create that lovely interest and texture to your card. So I think I'd have to change this to crafting and chocolate. I'm not a sewer, but I do love my chocolate and I do love my crafting, so that's definitely on the cards for this weekend for me. So again, you move it round, and I've continued that design, and again I've left the back there to write the message. So I hope you've enjoyed looking at the collection with me today and taking a look at the samples that I've created. I'd be really interested to know which one of the samples is your favourite. So I'm just laying them out for you to have a look at all 6 together. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So let me know which one you like. As I said, I've got lots of tutorials coming up on the channel using elements of this collection. So I've got a tutorial for this. I'm going to be using a licensed product with the mechanism on here, and then I'm going to create another card using the crafty images. So I hope you've enjoyed this video from me today. If you have, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit the like button. It does help and support the channel to grow. I'm really keen to build my channel this year. I'm getting close to the 3,000 subscriber mark, so if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you could. If you hit the notification bell, then it means you won't miss out on any future tutorials. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.